Hi there, in today's video I'm going to be taking the cuffs off this man's shirt and basically turning it into a more feminine look. So it's as simple as adding a sheared cuff onto the end of the shirt that's going to give you your feminine look. So let's take a look at how this is done. So I've literally got the shirt with the cuff open, laid on my table, and I'm going to cut that off just past where it's stitched on. Right, so that's got rid of the cuff. Right, I'm going to take that button off, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch that down in place. Right, so I'm just going to cut the other cuff off, but I'm going to do that off camera. Right, so I'm going to start by getting the shirt cuff, and it's where the opening is. And you can pin this if you want to pin it, if you're going to do it, but because it's a stripe, it's going to be easy because I've got this thick blue stripe and the thin one. So I'm just going to line that up there as I'm coming down. So that makes it super, super easy for me. And then I'm just lining it on the inside of this part of the foot, the inside, as my sewing gauge guideline. Right, so I'm going to do a back tack there. And then, like I said, I'm going to line them up as I come down. Okay, I'm going to get the opposite one. And I'm going to do the same with this one, where I've got this thick blue line. This is on the inside, so that's what I'm going to follow on this side. And again, I'm lining that up, but with the inside of the outside prong this time. Right, so I'm going to go to the iron now and just press the little tiny hem that I'm going to be doing on the end of the cuff. Right, so I'm going to start by just turning a little small amount on the hem first, and I'm going to work my way around the cuff with that. Actually, press that, you know, the bit that I stitched wasn't laying flat, so I've just repressed that down in place. Right, so that's the first fold. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that over again for the final fold. Just work my way around that cuff. Right, so that's the first one done. So I'm going to do the second one, but I'm going to do this one off camera. Right, so I'm going to show you me doing one cuff, and then I'm going to do the other one off camera. So I'm going to start under the arm because this is where the back tack's going to be. So I'm going to just start by where that's been ironed. Putting that again under the foot, and I'm putting that, just get that, so that this end of this turn is on the inside of this outside part of the foot. Right, so let me just get that. Back tack, and then I'm just going to go around putting a little hem on there. Right, I'm just going to get that and just push that under. Finish off with a back tack. Right, so I'm just going to do the opposite one off camera before I set it up to do the shearing. Right, so I've got the sheared elastic, and this is just wound on the bobbin. There's no pulling or stretching, you're just winding it on by hand. So this is going to go in your bobbin underneath, pull that through the tension, and then what you need to do on your top, just get that in because that's not in, you need to tighten that, because this is what's going to give you your, you know, your sheared look. Right, so I'm going to start on the under seam, so that goes under your arm. The fabric needs to be right side facing up, and I'm going to take it to the 1/2 inch marker on the needle plate. Right, so when I start, I'm going to do a bit of a back tack, and then I'm going to run this, like I said, just up to that 1/2 inch marker. And then when I get to where I first started, on that seam, I'm going to come up about 1 centimetre. Okay, and then I'm going to, this is my new stitch gauge. So I'm going to follow that all the way around. And again, when I get to the where I started, again, I'm going to turn it facing as if I'm coming up the sleeve and stitching up another centimetre. And again, if you're not confident doing it like I'm doing it freehand, then you can actually mark it. Same again. And I'm going to do about 6 of these. You can do as many as you want. You can make it as deep or as narrow as you want with the shearing. And I'm going to go for 6. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Untwist that because your sleeve does get twisted, you know, as you're going round. So I'm just flicking that so it's not as twisted. Right, and then when I get to that part, I'm just simply doing a really good back tack, taking this off. Right, so I'm just going to do the opposite side, but I'm going to do it off camera. So I hope you've enjoyed this share, guys. It's really simple to make a man's shirt more feminine by just simply cutting the cuff off and shearing it. So thanks for joining me, guys. Till next time, bye for now.